Combining Transformations, Lesson 6.3, Part B. The standards are 8G1 and 8G3. The objective is to graph transformations on the coordinate plane. The essential question is how can we best show or describe the change in position of a figure? Example number 1. Translate XYZ 10 units down and label it X prime, Y prime, Z prime. Next, reflect that image over the Y-axis. Name the final image X double prime, Y double prime, Z double prime, and graph it on the coordinate plane. Okay, so first what I'm going to do is move 10 units down from each coordinate. So I'm going to start with my Y coordinate. So I'm going to move 10 units down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now my X coordinate, I'm going to move 10 units down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now my Z coordinate, I'm going to move 10 units down as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to connect the dots. And then I'm going to label each point. So this will be Y prime, this will be X prime, and this will be Z prime. So now I'm going to list my new coordinates. So X prime, I notice that my X values stay the same. So 4 will be my X coordinate. And then I notice that since we went down 10 units, my Y coordinates are going to be subtracted by 10. So 8 minus 10 will give me negative 2. Now my Y prime is going to be, the X value is going to stay the same, and then I'm going to subtract 10 units from my Y coordinate, so it would be 3 minus 10, which will give me negative 7. Now Z prime, my X coordinate stays the same, which will be 9, and then my Y coordinate, I'm going to subtract 10, so it would be 4 minus 10, which will give me negative 6. And those are my new coordinates. Now I'm going to reflect over the y-axis. So first I need to list my previous coordinates. So I have X prime is at 4, negative 2. Y prime is at 2, negative 7. And then Z prime is at 9, negative 6. Now what I'm going to do, since I have to reflect it over the y-axis, I'm going to see how far apart each coordinate is from the y-axis. And it needs to be the same distance apart on the other side. So my y coordinate is 1, 2 away, so it should be 2 away on the other side. 1, 2. My x coordinate is 1, 2, 3, 4 away. It should be 4 away on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. My z coordinate is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it should be 9 units away on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I'm going to connect the dots. And then I'm going to label each coordinate. So this one would be Y double prime. This one is Z double prime. And this one is X double prime. Now I'm going to list my new coordinates. So X double prime. I notice that all my X values become negative and my Y values stay the same. So 4 is going to be negative 4 and negative 2 will stay the same. For my Y double prime, my 2 will become negative 2 and my negative 7 will stay the same. And then for Z double prime, my 9 will become negative and negative 6 will stay the same. And since that's my answer, I'm going to go ahead and shade in the new image. Now remember, the reason why I reflected my image to the left is because my line of reflection was the y-axis. Example number 2. Rotate EFGH 180 degrees clockwise about the origin. Then translate the image 5 units to the right. Name the final image QRST. So the first thing I'm going to do is rotate my image 180 degrees clockwise. Now remember, clockwise means the same direction as a clock. So I'm going to be rotating to the right. Now 180 degrees means I'm going to be turning my image 2 times. So I'm going to turn my image 2 times to the right. So this is the first turn. This is the second turn. So now I'm going to label my new coordinates. So I have E prime, I have F prime, I have G prime, and H prime. So now I'm going to write down the new coordinates. And what I notice is that my X and Y coordinates are becoming opposites. That means they're becoming negated. So E prime becomes -2, +4. F prime becomes -2, +7. G prime becomes -6, +7. And H prime becomes -6, +2. And those are my new coordinates. So now I'm going to translate my image 5 units to the right. But before I do that, I'm going to list my previous coordinates. So E prime is -2, +4. F prime is -2, +7. G prime is -6, +7. And then H prime is -6, +2. So since I'm going to translate, that means I'm going to slide my image 5 units to the right. And I'm going to label my final image QRST. So I'm going to take point E prime and move 5 units to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to label that Q. Now F prime, I'm going to move 5 units to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to label that R. Now G prime, I'm going to move 5 units to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to label that S. And then H prime, I'm going to move 5 units to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to label that T. Now I'm going to go ahead and connect the dots. And since this is my final image, which is my answer, I'm going to go ahead and shade it in. Now I'm going to label my new coordinates. So what I notice is that since I added 5 to each x value, that means I'm going to add 5 to my x coordinate. So for point Q, I'm going to add 5 to -2, which gives me 3. And my y value stays the same, so it'll be 4. For point R, I'm going to add 5 to -2, which gives me 3. And my y value stays the same, so it'll be 7. So for point S, I'm going to add 5 to negative 6, which gives me negative 1, and my y value stays the same, which will be 7. And then for point T, I'm going to add 5 to negative 6, which gives me negative 1, and my y value stays the same, which is 2. And those are the new coordinates for my answer.